नमस्कार येवकार तुमकां. एका वटेन फुटबॉल खेळ हो गोंयचो स्टेट स्पोर्ट्स म्हणून जाहीर केल्या उपरांत फुटबॉलाक चालना मेळटा, जाल्यार दुसऱ्या वटेन एक फुटबॉलाकूच लागसरा आसपी स्पोर्ट्साकूय गोंयान तितलेच गतीन चालना मेळटा. खुबशे कोर्ट्स उबे जाले आनी खुबशे खेळाडूय जाले आनी खुबश्यो टिम्सूय जाल्या आनी तातूंत टुर्नामेंट्सूय जाता, ते म्हणजे फुटसल. फुटसल हो खेळ खुबशे जाणांक नवीन, जाल्यार खुबशे जाण जे खेळटा तांचे खातीर आतां हो संवयीचो जाल्लो आसा. आमी सद्या आसा डॉन बॉस्को कॉलेज ऑफ इंजिनियरिंगाच्या ग्रावंडाचेर आनी आमी ज्या कोर्टान उबे आसा तो आंतरराष्ट्रीय लेवला वयलो द ओनली कोर्ट इन गोवा. दीस इज दी ओनली इंटरनॅशनल लेवल फुटसल कोर्ट इन गोवा. तो कसो आनी कित्याक केलो आनी फुटसला विशयी जाणा जावन घेवपा खातीर आमी खास करून ह्या कोर्टार आयल्या आनी आपोवन हाडल्या कांय मान्यवर जाणी ह्या खेळाक एक वेगळी दिशा दिवपाची हांगा ट्राय केल्ली आसा. आमचे बरोबर आसा फादर रॅलिन डिसोजा. ही इज रेक्टर ऑफ डॉन बॉस्को. देव बरें करूं फादर, तुमी आयले म्हणून. यू आर रेक्टर ऑफ डॉन बॉस्को फातोर्डा. यू आर दी इनचार्ज ऑफ एंटायर complex. You have started this court.
The court was before. We have renovated and brought it to a new standard from just a month ago.
Okay, also we will introduce you Benjamin Silva. He doesn't require any introduction, but right now he's standing here as a Futsal Alliance of Goa chairman.
Yes.
And we also have Anthony Dias. He is the coordinator for Futsal Alliance of Goa, which is umbrella body of all the futsal clubs. And we have Father Kinley Recluse, and Father Kinley is from Don Bosco. He is a backbone of entire Don Bosco. He has been a mentor and support for many activities including sports. So we'll start with Father. Father, this court, when we speak about this court, how different is this court? And we have seen people playing futsal indoor. They don't usually come out and play. So how different is it?
First and foremost, futsal is an indoor game, but the size is quite big. So the speciality of this court is the first one that is the international size under FIFA regulations, 40 meters by 20 meters. And normally a futsal court has to have a little run-up space, which is almost about 1.5 meter. We've given an extra 1 meter. So the beauty of this court is first and foremost is under FIFA regulations, and it is just a specific futsal court. Though the surface is multi-sport, you can also play handball in this court, you can play hockey on this court, but the specific court arena is meant only for futsal. If you go to other places, if I can compare, sometimes the size is as per the area that is with them. Sometimes the court edge where the netting is very close to the line, so you don't have enough run-up space. So sometimes people can hit onto the railing on the side. Secondly, you don't have the length and the breadth, so again it becomes a problem. And thirdly, most of the time, because of probably finances, they have used a normal football turf. So now this is not a football turf. This is actually a curl turf, which is meant for futsal, because basically futsal is a smooth surface. So now this gives you the smooth feeling. At the same time, because it is outdoor, because on the smooth feeling, little of your water or sweat in the ground becomes slippery. Okay. So this will give you the feel like a futsal, but it is an outdoor court.
This is international standard court, the only court in Goa.
Yeah. International size, only court in Goa of this particular
size and standard.
Yeah, size and standard. In fact, if you had watched the hockey international games that were happening in Orissa, exactly the same flooring. So we have played hockey game, World Cup games just a month ago. We had on the TV, and exactly the same flooring they have used. In fact, over there the dark green color was inside and the light green was on the outer side.
So for many people who doesn't know what is the meaning of futsal, you just tell. I think it is abbreviation of something. It is
abbreviation of football the salão. It's the Portuguese words. Football played in a hall, indoor hall.
Okay.
So technically it's like an indoor football.
आम्ही घराकडे बी भितर क्रिकेट खेळटाले तसे.
हय, भितर indoor short form.
Short formaचे. Okay. Football the salão. Futsal. Okay. Futsal.
So, Portuguese होतात.
Okay.
The football the salão, then कंबार करून futsal केला.
Okay, we'll go to Benjamin. Benjamin Bab, how many people actually, how many players have started playing this sports right now in Goa?
So all football players who are playing football are playing futsal now.
Okay.
Because this is a small version game. And to excel in football, you have to play futsal because this is the basics of football.
So if you are good in futsal, you will
Yeah.
be good in football.
Definitely.
Okay.
That is what is our intention, to
Okay.
create more futsal players for football.
How many grounds are there? I might not ask you how many such grounds are there. This is the only kind of
This
ground.
is the only ground which is standard size.
But how many more grounds are there?
I think nearly 15,
15 more grounds.
15 more grounds are there. But
Like
it is
this.
not as per standard.
Not as per se.
Mm.
But we are allowed to play them.
It is, see, other courts are there. I think they are not giving training and all. See, they are all, whoever plays futsal now, as of now, they are playing football. We
Okay.
have to train to play futsal.
So there will be exclusive futsal players coming out of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Not like
We
whoever
have-
is playing football is adapted into futsal.
No, no, no,
Nothing.
no.
Okay.
This is the basics of football.
You are heading something called as Alliance,
Futsal Alliance of Goa.
Futsal Alliance of
Yeah.
Goa. Usually these alliances in politics are made when people of different ideology want to be together. And, what is this alliance?
No, this alliance in C, as of now, there are two main federations. One is FIFA and one is AMA.
Okay.
Both are officially
Both
recognized.
are officially recognized.
Okay. So, no,
So-
but this is alliance in the sense all the futsal clubs in Goa, they have come together and they are under your banner, right?
So it is not yet done. See, we have started initially Futsal Association of Goa.
Okay.
Initially in 2016. And when we started, GFA objected to us because FIFA has got the rights also to organize all these types of futsal courts and players also. So then we thought we'll align with International Futsal Alliance.
Okay.
So we are aligned.
So
with
you
that.
moved out of GFA's shadow and you have gone.
Yeah, we have gone.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Again, there's little controversy also
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes to GFA.
Yeah.
Father, now, in fact, I want to ask Father, broadly speaking, Don Bosco campus in Patoda has become a hub of all kind of sports. We can see a football ground there. Right now, we have futsal ground. And I think basketball is also there. Indoor activities are also there. When you invested here in futsal ground, like, weren't you afraid that you might not get that kind of response that usually you get, because football is already popular, so you invest there and you get people walking in.
This thinking of ours must change today, because today there are more youngsters attracted to futsal than running on an entire international size football. So, and you don't require that many numbers to play on a football ground. You require 22 players. In futsal, it's enough that you get 10 players, and with 10 players you can manage.
No, I'm asking
So
you
it's
from
becoming
a
more popular.
feasibility
Futsal-
perspective.
Futsal is
Feasibility.
becoming more popular than football,
Futsal is getting more popular.
and it is across all ages.
Okay.
Whether it's the juniors, or whether it's the mid-level players, or whether it's the seniors, or even those who have gone beyond their prime, we are all attracted to futsal.
Because the ground is small.
The ground is small.
The
But at
time
same
played
time-
is also
yes.
small.
Yeah.
The time
The time
played,
also is, but it's a fast-paced game.
fast paced.
Yeah. That's why there are more people taking a liking for futsal.
What
and
thought?
secondly, what happens is, if youngsters are involved in futsal, it becomes a nursery to train these youngsters to go and play on a bigger ground.
On the football. But can anyone look at futsal as a profession, full-time profession, that I will play this game, I'll be a good player and I can have my earning bread and butter on from here?
Yes, who knows? Who knows? If perhaps industry enters and they begin to sponsor and they have their own teams, so then it will become also a profession for the youngsters.
Okay, but the thing which I have come here actually is because we heard about this ground and we thought that we will feature this ground with. So tell us, like, what are the features of this ground? Of course, Father has told few of the features, but more than that, what are the features? If someone wants to come here, what are the things that he will look at and say, okay, I want to come here and play?
Come and play.
Yeah.
Yes. Every Don Bosco institution, you know, we require something like a play field also. We require an open ground where youngsters can vent out their energy, you know. So, an institution, a Don Bosco institution without a playground cannot be called actually in the true sense a
Okay.
Don Bosco institution. That is why you see in all our institutions spread across Goa, spread across India, or spread across even the world, you will find a Don Bosco institution and a play field coming together. Okay? And that is one of the ways we also can capture the hearts of the youngsters through sports. And then we can mold them on to something else.
Okay, Father, you are a certified basketball coach. You should have been concentrating more on basketball. How come you have started thinking more about futsal? You are training students here. You have actually given everything and concentrating.
I am qualified in basketball. That doesn't mean I don't play other games. But let me take back from the same point that Father Kinley was making. 10 years ago, I don't know how many know, we had done a futsal court from Don Bosco Oratory. And we played a futsal game, first tournament. In fact,
10
we
years
ordered.
ago.
Yeah, we
And
ordered
people
the
were
balls.
not knowing much about
Yeah,
it.
and at that time, Sir Avartan, who was the sports director here, was in charge of our BPH section. And we ordered the balls from Australia because India there were no balls.
Okay.
And I remember at that time Beto, the Brazilian player, was playing for a sporting club, and we called him to conduct a training session. And then at that meeting, when he had a training session with all the BPS students, and we called all the captains, and we had the tournament in 4 categories, he made a statement saying that in Brazil, every top player in the Brazil football team is a player who has played futsal in the past. And then he told us that in Brazil there are basketball courts all over. So all the players, when the basketball games are not going on, they were playing futsal on basketball courts.
Okay.
In fact, at that time I caught Benjamin's neck. So why can't we do something together? Slowly, of course, they evolved into this. So it's like saying, you have a common surface, and the game is much more faster because you don't have that much time to judge a ball. But what was at least in my mind is, if you start the training at a smaller level, you get them into skill, you get them into speed, then the stamina and the other things we can work on as and when they come into the particular formats professionally. Talking about getting income, I think the moment the game becomes Olympic game, then there is income right through from the grassroots, because there is a platform where the player can grow from the local to the state to the zonal to the international. So the moment there is a upward movement, then any coach who is qualified internationally can easily get a lot of children introduced to it, and if you have proper facilities, I think we can make big leaps.
So, but another thing is that can this ground also double as a basketball ground or some other facility, or this has to be exclusively futsal ground?
This can double up maybe for hockey, it can double up for handball with the
Okay.
same marking. For
Okay.
basketball, though the company, Sencots, who put it up, told us that you can play basketball, but the ball bounces. I don't have any objection. But then the flooring will not be very good for basketball movements. So generally basketball is a little wooden flooring or a smoother surface, not a rough surface like this.
Usually, as you said, futsal is something to play indoor.
Indoor.
You have changed the entire specification.
Yeah.
You are actually, I can say, glorifying the outdoor version of futsal.
That is because if we were to put a futsal indoor hall, which Don Bosco has a plan, it might take us another 5 years more. In the meantime, we said, why not utilize the space and get them to the format as well as the size of the court. So the moment it becomes indoor, obviously we'll have to think of a different surface.
Are you also training youth to play futsal, or it's just a court facility that you have created and let someone train them and let them play here?
As of now, by the way, already we are having training sessions along with the Futsal Alliance of Goa. Every alternate evening they come. Once the crowd increase, we'll do every evening. But we have already decided that the afternoon time is specifically for training. We are not giving it out commercially, though we have to generate the funds. But then the remaining hours, we will of course offer it to the public to commercially pay and use. and we have decided not to charge extra. We'll charge it like how they are doing it in all the other courts. So they can pay the same amount and have the same better
Affordable
facilities.
rates.
Affordable rates, exactly.
This is open for clubs.
Yeah, anyone. Besides clubs, anybody who want. In fact, we have already tied up with a company called Get Set Play, who does online booking.
Okay.
Because very often the people from Bombay, Kerala, around the coastal, they come on a holiday and they want to play. So they can do the bookings online and straight away come.
So if someone wants to book this ground, they have to go on Get Set Play. Okay. No need to come here. You can.
No need coming here. Or if you come here, then you can go to the office and book, of course.
Okay.
But both the things are available as of now.
Okay. Benjamin Bab, a little of politics in the sports. Why you wanted this particular kind of sport out of GFA?
See, this is, I think FIFA has given, are having the rights for futsal as well as AMF. But All India Football Federation cannot, they cannot cope up with football only.
So you had no faith that GFA could
No,
do
they
justice
cannot.
to
They
futsal?
cannot do justice because see, even the football league which is going on, they cannot, it is not properly organized.
I'm keeping father out of this conversation. You please be here. Okay. So you have no faith in GFA, or you have no faith in people who are
No,
occupying
that-
positions in GFA that they
it
could.
is not a problem of faith. They cannot see. There are so many matches of football. They cannot complete the league and all at proper time, whatever time frame is given. Even for the COVID time, they have only, I think, professional league they have played, no other leagues. Even last year, it is same. So they cannot cope up with their regular.
So you
calendar.
didn't wanted to burden them with.
No, and it is a problem for them also, for all India Football Federation. They have conducted one tournament only for professional teams, I-League teams, sorry. So it is not, see, it will take time. I am not telling that they won't be able to do it, but it will take time for them.
It will take time for
Yeah,
them.
it will take time.
By that time, your alliance would be strong enough to
Definitely.
take care of entire Goa's
Definitely.
futsal
See,
scenario.
we have started in 2016. We have done, I think, 3 championships, state
Yeah,
championship. We have won. We have,
3 state championships.
Yeah, we have done. On this court, we have done 2, and one at no, Padagni and Panjim.
3 championships are
Yeah,
already.
we have already done.
So now new futsal players are coming.
See, because of COVID, we have taken care. Now we have already started the training program over here. So I think people should send their children to play. Because see, if you want to focus on football, this is the basic of football.
Okay.
Yeah, as just father has said, in Brazil everybody plays futsal before
But is
playing
there
football.
acceptance for futsal in Goa, or there's no acceptance till now?
No, see, the football players are playing futsal.
No, that is another case.
Yeah,
but
but-
someone who's who's young,
Yeah,
is he starting from futsal right now?
Yeah, definitely.
Or is going to football and then you have to pull him?
One of our member, Mr. Charlton, he has started this thing, futsal in Shishini.
It's a court or it's
It's a court, it's a court.
It's a court.
Yeah, basketball court.
So this futsal craze is only in Salsa, or it is also
No,
there
it
in
is
other
all
areas?
over Goa it is there.
All over.
Yeah, yeah.
Because usually football is more in Salsa.
The football is more, but players play everywhere.
Everywhere.
Even when father started, we already organized over there also in Don Bosco Fathers, one tournament.
Ah.
Good response we have got that time.
Responses.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Father, coming back to you, what it takes to maintain such a precious infrastructure? Precious is the word which I can use because I was not finding any other word. So precious infrastructure, what it takes?
Right now, I think it's only the footwear.
Okay.
So because synthetic turf has got its own kind of a footwear, so the only thing you need to avoid is there is no metal on it or studs, metal studs on it like how you have in a football game.
Okay.
Though there are studs meant for futsal courts,
Okay.
or there are futsal flooring, or futsal shoes with futsal soles. If you have that, I don't think there is any other maintenance needed. Because technically we have done this in such a manner that you have sufficient cushioning underneath. So you don't need shoes with cushioning. And secondly, the water flows out even if it rains.
Water flows out.
Yeah, so you don't even, there's no problem playing even in the rain if you want to play. Okay, so they are not going to stop you that if it rains, please don't stop, which we have to do even for a football ground, because the moment it gets soggy, then the grass gets damaged.
Okay.
So
You
only
can
thing
play
need to-
futsal here even in the rains.
Yes, yes. So and
I'm repeating this because people should know.
yeah,
that.
sure. Because the water will surely flow out. It's not going to remain there for a long time. Okay, I mean it's not going to remain because the storing is done in such a manner. Okay, so basically you can play. So it can be used continuously. So other than if you can take care of the turf with your, because that's what you're going to run with, I think it's going to run very easily about 8 years. That's the guarantee that is given to us.
8 years warranty.
8 years warranty.
No, also,
Unlike
Okay. Yeah.
also in football,
Uh,
there is a rule
uh,
stating that if the ball floats on the water, the game is stopped.
okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
Or if there is lightning
Ah,
that strikes during the game stops.
okay.
That is for the safety of the players. Basically, lightning. If there is
So
lightning,
here the
Game.
ball will not float in.
the ball will not.
Lightning you can't.
Lightning will become. We have to stop it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Father. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thank
much. In fact, before we wind up, I have a last question to ask to Benjamin. Do you foresee this sport of futsal getting on line with, on par with football sometimes in the years to come?
Yeah, definitely. As Father has already said, it should come in the Olympic Games.
It should come in.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Goa.
Yeah, it will so definitely see. Everybody wants to play futsal now. You can see on the football grounds, nobody goes there, but they prefer to play futsal. So
Futsal.
it is a good sign.
Okay. So what support do you expect from the government for this sport?
And see, when we already started in 2016 futsal in Goa, we approached the CM, but from SAG and DSY we got support. But directly from the government we did not get any support.
2016 CM was Mandar Parikar.
Yeah. No, after that we started.
You started up.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was your favorite
Yeah.
CM. That's why I'm asking you whether he
No, when he
supported
was
you or
there
not.
only, when that time he was sick.
Okay. That's the time
Started.
when you.
Yeah, he was sick.
But government is helping. Government is ready
Government
to
is helping definitely. The infrastructure and
There is no politics.
no politics. Definitely.
No politics.
No.
So football or futsal, nothing.
No, nothing. But you must have good contacts with everybody. Otherwise, it is very difficult.
Goa is a very small state. Everyone has got contacts. And we are talking to ex-MLA. So he has got more contacts than anyone else. Dev bhare karo. Dev bhare karo, Father. Father, tumka
you.
hai. This was a very short, in fact, interview we can say, or interaction you can say, about one sport that is clearly picking up in Goa. And it might not be as big as football right now, but somewhere down the line it might turn into a sports which is parallel to football, and that's futsal. And as everyone knows by now, futsal means football in Salaam. That means Garan खेळलो football. So it's that's why this entire ground is small.